Diagonalisation. This is very useful for powers. For example, we've got vector b and we want to find out what b to the 12 is. You wouldn't want to multiply that out 12 times. It would take a long time. You could also use it to find the inverse. You'd only do that if they gave you the eigenvectors and the eigenvalues. Okay, starting off with b equals lambda e, we don't really have to start off with that. But from what we discussed before, you can see that bp equals pd. And p is, well, p are the eigenvectors, okay, the three columns. They make up p. So eigenvector 1, eigenvector 2, eigenvector 3. And d are the eigenvalues 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4 on the leading diagonal. We want to get b on its own, so we're going to multiply both sides by p to the minus 1 inverse p. Okay, if we do that, we'll have b, p, or I'm going to multiply the right hand side by p minus 1. Remember, this is vector algebra, so it's important it's the right hand side and not the left hand side. You can't have one on the right and one on the left. Okay, so now we have an equation. b minus 1 equals b dp minus 1. P times p minus 1 is just the identity. It's an identity matrix. It cancels out. So we have b equals p d p minus 1. Okay, so here's our equation. Now with this, you can use it to find b to the power of whatever we want. B to the 12, b to the 2, or the inverse b. Okay, I'm going to illustrate it with b to the 4. Okay, so we want b to the power of 4. Well, b to the power of 4, but to the power of 4 is b dp minus 1 to the power of 4. Okay, now let's expand the brackets. So we've got p d p to the minus 1 multiplied by p d p minus 1 multiplied by p d p minus 1 multiplied by p d p minus 1. Okay, now if you look at it, we can group the inverse with the p there and there and there. Okay, so these will cancel out. Okay, so we're left with b to the 4 equals p. Now how many d's have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, for the power of 4. So we have p d to the 4. Okay, so we counted that d, that d, that d, that d. We're left with the p to the minus 1. Okay, so that's the great thing about this. Okay, the p, these always cancel out, so it doesn't matter what it will be. So if it was b to the 12, it would be p d to the 12 p to the minus 1. Okay, it cancels out. And then you might sort of think, yeah, but we still got to work out d to the 4. But d is an easy vector, okay? D is an easy vector. It's just a leading diagonal. Everything else is 0. Okay, I'll show you how easy it is. D to the power of 4. If it's just leading diagonal, it's going to be 1 to the power of 4. And the next one is going to be 3 to the power of 4, which is 81. And 4 to the power of 4, which is 4 to the power of 4. Two, 5, 6. And then the rest are the zeros. Okay, now we've got to find inverse p. This is the hardest bit. Okay, so remember you can use a calculator, but you may have to show how you work it out. Okay, now the best tactic is to start with getting both these zeros, okay, and then that's already a 0, and then get both of these zeros. Okay, so first of all, we want to make that into a 0. So what we're going to do is, in the second row, we're going to have row 1 plus 2 row 2. Okay, so let's put in the top one, which is 202, 100. So we got row 1 plus 2 row 2. So that plus 2 of these. Okay, so let's go. So we're going to get 0, 2, 6, 1, 2, fill in the bottom one. 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 1. Okay, now we're going to work on the top row, okay, and we want this to be a 0. Right, so we're going to work on row 3 and row 1. I'm going to use these two, okay. So I don't mind what happens to that. Okay, now these were nothing will get spoiled when we do this. Okay, so we're going to do 2 row 1 minus 3 row 3 minus 3 row 1. Okay, and that will give us minus 6, 0, 0, minus 3, 0, 2, and let's fill in the rest. We got 026, 120, 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 1. Okay, and that just leaves us with the 6. We need to change that to a 0. Okay, so what I'm going to do is going to take row 2, I'm going to subtract 2 of row 3. Okay, and then that will be in the row 2. Okay, so these won't be affected because they're both zeros. Okay, so that's not going to be spoiled. Do you see what I mean? All right, so this second one we're going to do, it's going to be row 2 minus 2 of row 3. Okay, so let's put the first row in. This is unchanged, 600 minus 302. So this will become 0, 2, 0, 1, 2, minus 2. And let's fill in the lower row. Here we've done it. We got a triangle of zeros and a triangle of zeros. Easy bit now. This row just needs to multiply by minus 1/6, and that will change that minus 6 to a 1, and it won't affect these two. This row we're going to times by half, change that 2 to a 0. This row we're going to times by a third to change that to a 0. Okay, so we're going to multiply by the minus 1/6 here to get 100, and this will be a half, 0 minus a third. And I'm going to multiply by a half to get 0, 1, 0. And this will become a half, 1 minus 1. And lastly, multiply by a third. So this will become 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1/3. The next thing to do is get your calculator out and check that the inverse of this matrix is that. Okay, now all we need to do is multiply these three out. So we could do this one times this one, and then the result we multiply by that, but we don't have to. We could do this one times this one, and then multiply this by the result of that. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to multiply the first two out, and I get 20512 minus 1 81 512 0 0 768, and I need to multiply that by a half, 0 minus a third, half, 1 minus 1, 0 0 a third. Okay, and I do that, and I'll get 1 0 170 40 81 90 0 0 256. This is just an illustration. It'll be, in this case, it'll probably be quicker just to do b times b times b times b. So it's just for illustration. But as you can see, if the powers were high, it would definitely be a good method. Okay, make sure you use your calculator to check everything. Okay, that's diagonalisation.